Hi guys, welcome to the Wellness Collective's free yoga Saturday. My name is Sam and I'm one of the yoga teachers there. And last week we started talking about the yamas, which are part of the 8-limb path for yogis laid out in the Yoga Sutras by a guy named Patanjali. And I went into more of the yamas on the last week's video if you want to go back and start with the first one, which is ahimsa. But this week we're moving on and we're going to be practicing satya, which basically means truthfulness. And again, the yamas are our ethical disciplines, our moral obligations with ourselves, with other people. And we start practicing them on our mat. Then we practice them, on our mat with ourselves and out in life with others, and off the mat. And the yamas include the ahimsa, which we covered last week, which is nonviolence, satya, which we're covering this week, which is truthfulness, asteya, which is non-stealing, brahmacharya, which is moderation or the right use of your energy. And the last one is aparigraha, which is non-attachment or non-possessiveness. And basically satya means truthfulness. It's refraining from telling lies and only speaking with kindness, compassion, and clarity. And while it seems simple enough, we often don't even realize all the ways that we're lying to ourselves, to others, like just the little white lies that we're not honest about. Are you allowing your true self to be seen without shame or judgment or criticism? Are you pretending you're okay when you're really not? Do you say yes to things you want to say no to, or no to things you want to say yes to? Just to keep the peace or whatever. Truthfulness is about living authentically true to your nature, no matter where you are, whenever, wherever. And practicing satya means that we see and accept things as they are and not as we would like them to be. We see things in reality, how they actually are, instead of, oh, well, they have the potential to be like this. And it could be like, kind of twisting it to make it into something that we want it to be rather than just accepting what is. And in yoga, this means checking in with all of our energetic bodies, to see how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and reporting back how you truly feel today in this moment. Because our thoughts, our moods, our desires, and even our abilities, they vary from day to day. They constantly change, depending on a wide array of factors, how well you slept, what you ate, did you fight with someone? Do you have something coming up at work, et cetera, et cetera. And just because you were able to do a pose perfectly yesterday and you could perfectly get into bird of paradise yesterday, today may not be the same. Maybe you're a little bit tired. Maybe you didn't sleep as good. Maybe, you took a day off or whatever it was. We just might be in a different place, and that's okay. But satya means that you're checking in with yourself and being honest about where you are. And doing that regularly helps build that mind-body connection so that, so that the more that builds, the easier it becomes to tell when we're not in alignment. And when we're not in alignment with our highest good, we can actually do something to change that if we notice when we're off. If you're checking in with yourself all the time, you're like, okay, this is how I really regularly feel. This feels weird. Okay, something might be going on. Let me check that out. And, we can make adjustments and we can rearrange and, we can change something. But if we don't accept things as they are, we can't change anything. We can't change from a place of fantasy. When we start to practice truthfulness and honesty on our mats with ourselves, it just becomes easier to practice those off the mat in real life. The more honest and truthful you are with yourself about your abilities and being able to do something or not, the easier it gets off the mat, where you find yourself being more honest with how you really are, in relationship with other people and in various situations. And it might be a little easier to speak your truth, or be honest about, how much screen time you're doing. Are you really reading that much? Are you doing, positive things to make your change? Or are you just keeping yourself stuck in a loop because you're numbing yourself out? But you need to be honest about these things in order to make any changes and to get any progress. And the more we're truthful with ourselves, the easier this gets. But we first must accept where we currently are. And if we can't be honest with ourselves about that, then we'll never be able to make the change to be in alignment with our highest good. So satya is really just, being truthful, and not just truthful, like blunt, like, oh, I'm so real. Like, yes, you're honest and truthful, but you say it with kindness and compassion. And there's ways to deliver the truth without you know, being a mean person or being so blunt and stuff like that. You just have to say it with love, with compassion. And that's what the yamas and the alien path are all about. Just doing everything with love, basically. So with that, I'm gonna head over to my mat. If you wanna just get some water or head over to your mat. Flashlight on. And so as we go through practice today, just remember to just be honest with yourself and check in. And every time I tell you to check in with yourself, really think about it. Feel that part of your body and be like, oh, does this feel good? Am I just, is it a limiting belief that you just need to push through, or is it actually the truth? And that takes practice, and that comes with discernment over time. But the only way you get that discernment is by practicing and by trying and error and trying to listen to your body. So we're just going to start on our knees in thunderbolt position. So just come to kneeling, sit back on your heels. We're just going to take a couple deep breaths in just to kind of warm up our body a little bit, warm up our lungs a little bit. Just kind of breathe that truthfulness. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, bring them down to heart center. One more time. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. And really set your intention to practice Satya today on your mat with yourself, or maybe even after class. But try and notice the ways that you are lying to yourself and try and correct them, and try and notice the ways, the subtle ways that it can sneak in. And just practice the Satya. So now interlace your fingertips, bring them over your head, and stretch over to the left. Reaching your arms over to the left, just getting a stretch in that right side body. Inhale back to center. And exhale, bring your right hand down to your left knee, your left hand behind you, and twist. Looking over your left shoulder, your spine straight, your chest lifted. Inhale back through center, interlace your hands. Stretch them over to the right now, stretching that left side body. Inhale back up. Exhale, bring the left hand down to the right knee, the right hand behind you. Twist to the right, looking over your right shoulder. Your chest lifted, your spine straight, just twisting from your back. And back through center. Bring your hands onto your knees. We're just going to do some kneeling cat cows. Just going to inhale, lift your chest forward, roll your shoulders back. And exhale, round your shoulders, bring your navel to your spine. Inhale. Exhale. You can go at your own pace. You're going to go faster or slower. And one more inhale, lift your chest up. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest up, look up. And exhale, round your shoulders, bring your navel to your spine. Now interlace your hands behind your back. And lay down, sorry. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. No. Sorry, I just need to fix this real quick. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Back to kneeling. Interlace your hands behind your back. Lift your chest up, look up. Exhale, bring your forehead down to your mat. Balasana. Reaching your hands towards the ceiling. I'm getting a stretch in those shoulders. It feels good. You want a little bit more. You can come up onto the crown of your head. Try and bring your Hands down towards your mat. And tuck your toes. Come back to sit on your heels. Bring your fists towards your mat, lifting your chest up. And release your hands. Come down over into tabletop. We're going to thread the needle. Inhale, lift our right arm up. Look up. Exhale, thread the right arm through, bringing your right shoulder down to your mat. Come up onto your left fingertips. Or if you want to wrap your left hand around your right thigh. Just kind of pulling your body open towards the side. Whatever feels good for you. Check in with what feels good. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back through the tabletop. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, thread it through. Bring the left shoulder down to your mat. Coming up onto your right fingertips. And make sure that your hips are staying square. I'm going to wrap that right hand around the left thigh. Opening up to the side. More breath, inhale in. And exhale. Come back to our tabletop. And now just move your knees back a little bit and walk your hands down, bringing your chest closer to your mat in our puppy pose. So you could either bring your chin to your mat or your forehead. Whatever feels good. You can also place some pillows underneath your chest or a block for some extra support. It's just really opening up your chest, opening up your shoulders. You want to make sure to try and keep your hips over your knees. One more breath here. Inhale in. And exhale out. Coming back up to tabletop. Gonna inhale, lift that right leg up. That feels good. Just keep it there. Lift that left arm up, out into our balancing bird dog. Can leave the left arm on the mat though, if that feels better. And just take a breath here, trying to keep your body as straight as possible. Like a flat tabletop. Next inhale, we're going to kick our right leg out over to the right, bringing your left arm over to the left. In our awkward airplane. And if your hand is down, just move your right leg over to the right and back through center. Now reach that left arm around and grab onto that right ankle. Keeping your shoulders square, your hips square. Just push that left foot up. Sorry, I don't know what this one is. Grabbing that left ankle up. Just push the right foot towards the ceiling. And release your arm out. Kick your right foot up. And exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale back to your bird dog. Bring that left hand down and step that right hand through in our low lunge. Inhale, arms up. It's really pushing that left hip down. Stretching that left hip flexor. Now windmill the arms open, bringing the right hand to face the back of your mat and the left hand towards the front. And now revolve low lunge. Bring the right hand down to the left thigh. That left arm up, looking up at your left fingertips. And exhale, bring the left hand down by your right foot, the right arm up towards the ceiling. And then bend that left knee, grab onto that that left ankle with your right hand. And you can either stay here with one hand as support, or if you want to come up and grab with both of your hands. Just stretching that hamstring. And release. Put your hands to frame your right foot. Exhale, straighten that right leg into our half splits. This left hip over your left knee. Just lifting your chest up, stretching over your leg, bending from your waist, not rounding your shoulders. And inhale, back to low lunge. Again, pushing that left hip down. And exhale, straighten that right leg again to our half split. This feels good. If you want to take your left hand to the inside of the right foot, lift your right arm up. Now revolve, half splits. You're still bending over, but you're reaching up and adding a little twist. And release your hand down, coming back into a low lunge. Tuck your back toes, step the right foot back and into our plank. You can just hold here. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Come down onto your forearms, into our forearm plank. You can also come down onto your knees if that feels better for you, wherever you are today. One more breath here. Inhale in. And as you exhale, lift your hips up and start walking your feet towards your hands in our dolphin pose. Really just, you want to keep one leg bent and the other, walking it out. Really stretching those shoulders down. And come up to our down dog. You can move your feet about hip distance apart. Pressing the mat away with your hands and your feet. And come back down into tabletop. Bring your knees to your mat. I'm just going to take a sip of water real quick. Or monster. And we're going to do the other side. So inhale, lift that left leg out. Again, if you want to leave your hand on the mat, that's totally fine. More, raise your right arm out to the side. Just take a breath here. And inhale. Next exhale, go over to the left. Bring your right arm over to the right. Our awkward airplane. Back through center. And that leg, grab onto the left ankle. Push the left foot up towards the ceiling, towards sky. Release. Inhale in. And exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale out. Bring the right hand down. Exhale, step the left through between the hands and come into our low lunge on the right side. Hands overhead, pushing that right hip down towards your mat. And exhale, straighten that left leg, folding over into our half split. Back to our low lunge. I forgot to add a part, so we're just going to add it now. Feel your arms up. And reach your left hand for the back of your mat, the right hand for the front. Reach that left hand towards the right leg, that right arm up and back, stretching that right hip flexor. And to exhale, bring the right hand by the left foot and bend that right knee, come onto that right foot and bring it towards you. You want to hold on with both hands. And now release. Exhale, straighten that left leg. Fold over. And come back to your low lunge. Exhale, straighten the left leg. Fold over. Then you can leave that right hand by the inside of the left foot. And lift that left arm up. That feels good. Release. Coming back to our low lunge. And tuck those right toes. Step back to our plank. Take a breath here, inhale. And exhale, come down to your forearms. Again, you can come onto your knees if that feels better for you. Inhale in. And exhale, lift your hips, walk your feet towards your hands. And just take 2 more breaths here. Come on up to your hands into our down dog. Just want to push your feet back a little bit more, about hip distance apart. And your hands shoulder distance apart, your shoulders are wrapping around, feet broad, your hips are lifted, your sternum towards the mat. Inhale, lift that right leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, stack your hips. Just make some big circles with your knee. And now just slowly lower that right foot down towards the mat, coming into your wild thing. Looking out at your right fingertips. Pushing your hips up. And exhale, coming back through. Swinging that right foot underneath, coming onto the edge of your right foot. Lifting that left arm up in our side star plank. And bring that left arm down, and right foot back into our plank. Exhale, down chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And walk your feet towards your hands. Grab opposite elbows. You can leave a bend in your knee if that feels good. Coming into our ragdoll. And release your hands, lean them at your side. Bring your chest to your thighs. You can bend your knees. Just slowly start to roll up. 1 vertebrae at a time. And round your shoulders, lift your chest. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit back into your chair pose. Just sit back like you're sitting into a chair, your arms out in front of you, heart center, whatever feels good for you. Just focusing on that drishti point. And release into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Jump or step out to your plank. Exhale, down chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now we're going to lift that left leg up. And same thing. So you want to bend that left knee, stack your hips. We're going to stay here for a minute. That feels good. You want to start making circles with your left knee. Big hip circles. And then start bringing that left foot towards the ground behind you. You flip over to your wild thing. Looking out at your left fingertips. And release the left hand to your mat. The left foot through. And the right hand up to your side star plank. Just taking a breath. Inhale in. And exhale, bring your right hand towards your mat. Step back into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Slowly walk your feet towards your hands. You grab opposite elbows into your ragdoll pose. Just sway back and forth. I'm just gonna open this. Release your hands and slowly roll yourself up. Feeling your body on the upcome. Pulling your shoulders back. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, sit back into your chair pose. Your knees aren't past your toes, just sitting back like you're in the chair. As far down as you can go. If you can't go this far, that's okay. And release to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jump or step out to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. You're gonna lift that right leg up again now. And exhale, step it through between the hands. Inhale into our high lunge. Next inhale, open your arms to crescent. And exhale, straighten that right leg. Bring your hands together. Then inhale, bend, open your chest, crescent arms. Exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale one more time. And exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale back into your lunge with your arms. Release your arms. Or you can leave your arms in crescent arms if you want. I just want to bring them heart center. And just slowly push up. And coming into your warrior three. If this is where you go in warrior three, that's fine. Just slowly work on getting a little more, lifting that leg a little bit more. Eventually coming into a T shape. And release your hands. Lift that left leg up a little bit more into our standing split. You can grab your right ankle with your left hand or your right hand. And release, step that back into your high runner's lunge. Now reach that right arm up. Your left hand is on the inside of your right foot. Looking up your right fingertips. And inhale up to revolved high lunge. And now windmill your arms open. Move that back left foot so it's almost parallel with the back of your mat, opening into our warrior two. So your right knee is over your right ankle. Your back foot is almost parallel with the back of your mat, or whatever's comfortable for you. Inhale, lift that right arm up. Reach that left hand down that left leg to a reverse warrior. One more breath, inhale in. And on the exhale, bring that right hand to the inside of the right foot or that right elbow to your right knee. Reach that left arm up and over. Again, whatever feels good. You can also have a block right here for you. You just want to make sure that your hips are open and this meridian from your foot all the way up to your fingertips is open, clear. And inhale back up and bring the left hand around. Reach that right arm up and over in our bound reverse warrior. You can just put it behind your back, or you want to reach it for the right leg, right thigh. And release. Back to extended side angle. A little extra challenge if you want to lift that right arm up also. And release back to warrior two. Straighten that right leg. Push the hips out to the side. Bring the right fingertips down to the mat, the left hand up. Coming into our triangle pose. Again, you can have a block here if for a little extra support, or you can just come down onto your fingertips. You don't want to put all your weight in your fingertips, kind of touching the mat. Same thing with your palm. Inhale, back up. Bring that left hand down that left leg. Push that right arm up and over. In a reverse triangle. And release. Now we're going to bend that right knee. Bring that right hand down towards the mat. Lifting that left foot up into our half moon. So again, our body is open to the side. Our arms are like a T. Our legs are perpendicular. Foot is flexed. You want to bend that left knee, grab onto your left ankle, and come into your sugar cane pose. Just kicking that foot out, so you're stretching that left hip flexor a little bit more. And release, coming back into your warrior two. Straighten that right leg. Turn your toes so they face the side of your mat. We're going to inhale up and exhale, fold down. Bring your chest towards your mat. Slowly walking your hands through. Get a sip of water again. Lean that left hand down. You can reach that right arm up. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the right hand down. Inhale. Lift the left arm up. And release. And we're going to walk our hands over to our left foot. Pivot. So we come onto the ball of our right foot, and our left foot's toes are facing the back of our mat. So we're coming into a runner's lunge on the other side. And now we're going to inhale and lift up into our high lunge. Hands overhead. Next inhale, open your arms out to cactus arms. They're at a 90-degree angle, your chest is open. And exhale, straighten that left leg. Bring your hands together. Inhale, chest open, cactus arms. Exhale, hands together, straight your leg. Inhale. And last one, exhale. Inhale, back to your high lunge. Bring my hands to heart center. And slowly lift up into your warrior three. Focusing on the Drishti point. Bring your hands down to your mat. And lift that right leg a little bit higher if you can. Into your standing split. And only go as high as feels good for you. And release back into your high lunge. And leave your right hand on the mat beside your left foot. Your left hand up towards the ceiling, looking at your left fingertips. And lift up into our revolved high lunge. And we windmill the hands open and pivot that right foot so it's almost parallel with the front of your mat now. Into our warrior two. Looking over your left fingertips. Inhale that left arm up. That right hand slides down the right leg. A reverse warrior. Exhale, bring that left hand. You can either bring your left elbow to your left knee, hand to the inside of the left foot, to right arm up and over, our extended side angle. So again, it's just important that we're open up to the side in this meridian line of energy. running from our foot all the way out, extended to our fingertips. Now is clear and open. And lift back up. Reverse warrior again. If you want to bring that right hand around, grab the left thigh, push that left hand back. And extended side angle again. And challenge, you want to lift both arms up. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, back to warrior two. Straighten that left leg, push the hips out to the right. Bring the left fingertips down to the mat. Bring the right hand up to the sky. Your triangle pose. And if you want, you can also grab onto your big toe. You just want to keep your body open like you're between two panes of glass. Inhale, lift back up. The right hand down the right leg in a reverse triangle. And release back to warrior two. We're going to bend into that left knee and bring that left hand down to the mat. So you lift the right arm and right foot up and open up to the side. Again, look up to your right fingertips or at a drishti point in front of you. If you want to bend that right knee, grab onto your right ankle, coming into your sugarcane pose, kicking that hip open. And release. Bending that knee, coming back into your warrior two. Straighten that left leg. Turn your toes to face the side of your mat again. And we're going to interlace our hands behind our back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold over. And just try and bring your fists towards your mat, your forehead towards the mat. Stretching the shoulders, stretching your legs. And release your hands. We're just going to heel toe our feet in. So they're about hip distance apart. Our toes are facing out. Our heels are pointed in, coming into our malasana squat, our yogi squat. If this doesn't feel good for you, or if you just think you need some support, you can always put a block underneath for a little extra support until you can get the balance or whatever you need. I'm just kind of using those elbows to open up your hips a little bit. I'm going to inhale that left hand down. So it's pushing the knee open a little bit. That right arm up, looking up at the right fingertips. Getting a stretch in that hip and the back and the shoulder. If you want to wrap that left hand around, reach the right hand around your back. And come into a bind. Just lifting up. And release. And we're going to do the same thing with the right. So bring that right arm out, pushing that right knee open, left hand up to the ceiling. You want to wrap it around for the bind. Now I just thought it would be fun to practice crow pose. So staying in your malasana, just turn the long legs of your mat. We're going to bring our hands down so they're open, your palms are open wide. And just kind of lift up, and your knees are kind of right at your biceps. And you can just even practice just kind of pushing yourself back and forth, like so your legs are on the outside of your biceps, and just kind of practice pushing yourself over, kind of working on that balance. You could do one foot at a time, wherever you're at. And then you can either step or just jump back out to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now just taking a second here to just catch your breath. Lifting your hips up, pushing the mat away, rounding your shoulders. Inhale that right leg up. Exhale, step it through between your hands, our high lunge. And step that left foot forward. Bring it up into our tree pose. So I can turn to the side to show you, but that left foot is just coming to the inside of the right calf or the right thigh. You can bring your hands overhead or down to heart center, whichever feels good for you. Just focusing on that drishti point. Now we're going to bring that left foot and just wrap it around our right foot, our right leg, coming into our eagle pose. Bringing our left arm underneath our right, coming into our full eagle pose. Again, focusing on that drishti point. One more breath here. Again, you can also bring your foot just to the outside of your right foot and start there. And then progressively work it back. So release the eagle legs. Bring the left knee into your chest. Come onto your your left big toe with your right foot. And if this feels good, stay here. If you want, slowly extend it out. And bring that left hand out to the side. And back to center. Now grab onto your left big toe with your left hand. And now bring that left leg out to the side. And back through center. Slowly release that foot down and bend that left knee, pulling it in towards your hamstring in your dancer prep. If you want to go a little further, get the inside of your left ankle. Lift that right arm up and kick that left foot up towards your ceiling in your dancer pose. And sometimes your balance is better than others. Just gotta be honest with yourself. Check in with yourself. I'm not as good today on this foot. I think I'm just tired. And just release it back, and we're gonna come back into our high lunge. Then bring your hands down. Step back into plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale that left leg up. Exhale, step it through between your hands into our high lunge. Bring that right foot up into your tree pose, whatever variation you have. Hands overhead or to heart center. I have to get some water. Now release that right leg over the left, coming into our eagle pose. The right arm underneath the left. And sitting down. Taking a few breaths here. You need to come out, that's totally fine. Just come back in. And release. Bring that right knee into the chest. Come onto your right big toe with your left hand. And slowly stretch that right leg out as you bring your right arm out to the side. Inner fold. And back to center. Come onto your right big toe with your right hand and open to the side. Back through center. Release your hands. Slowly lower that leg down. Now bend the knee into your hands, bring it close to your glutes. Prep for dancer. And the inside of the right ankle. Put that left hand up. Inhale. Exhale, kick up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, kick. And release. Back to your lunge. And step back to plank. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. From here, we're going to just jump through. So bend your knees and just jump through to seating. Bringing your legs up, or if you want, if it feels better, you can leave them down and just work on boat from here. But if you want to bring your legs up, your knees bent, working a modified boat here. And now we can bring our right arm to the outside of the left leg, reach the left arm open. Our revolved boat. Then over to the left fingertips, back through center, and left side. Back through center, maybe release your legs. And bring them down to the mat. Slowly lower down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring your feet close to your glutes. Your hands are at your sides. We'll do our first bridge pose. Inhale, push your hips up. And try and bring your shoulder blades to touch. If you want, or if you can grab onto your ankles. Looking at the ceiling behind you so you don't punch your neck. Pushing up a little bit higher each breath. And release down. Bring your knees into your chest. We're going to go for our second bridge or your wheel pose. It's up to you. Whatever your abilities are at, wherever you're at today, just be honest with yourself, check in with yourself. I'm going to go for our wheel pose. Bring your hands by your ears, feet close to your glutes. Inhale, push out. You want to try and keep your legs parallel so your knees aren't splayed out. You want to inhale one leg up. Exhale down. Inhale the other leg up. Exhale down. And release. Bring your knees into your chest. And just roll side to side. Forward and back a little bit. And now we're going to bring our hands to the small of our back. So we roll up, coming into our shoulder stand. Keeping your toes pointed. And now flex your feet. And if it feels good to come down into cloud pose, bring your toes towards the mat behind you. You can interlace your hands. And stretching your shoulders and your legs. Bend your knees by your ears. And slowly release down. Bringing your hands underneath your butt, coming up onto your elbows, releasing your head behind you into our fish pose. If you're crunching that neck, this is a really good way to open it. And you can also always have a block there for support. Also, whatever feels good. And release down. Bend your knees, bring your left foot on top of your right leg, right knee. And lift your right leg up, grabbing behind your knee, slowly just pulling it in, close towards your body. Reverse figure 4. Release the right leg down. Come onto the outside of the left foot with the left hand in our half happy baby. Just opening that hip to the side. Now grabbing the outside of the left knee with your right hand. Slowly bring it down towards your mat. You can stretch your left hand out to the side, looking at your left fingertips. Place your feet back to the mat again, bringing your right foot on top of your left knee this time. Interlocking your hands behind your left knee and pulling in a little bit closer. And releasing that left leg down, grabbing onto the outside of the right foot with the right hand in our happy baby. Grab the outside of the right knee, right arm out to the side, bring that right knee down towards your mat. Supine spinal twist. Grab the outside of both of your feet coming into your happy baby. Rock back and forth. Or just stay still if that feels good. Both the soles of your feet onto your mat. Slowly let both of your knees fall over to the right, to the left, looking over to the right. Let them fall over to the right, and over to the left. Go back and forth and windshield wipe them. When you're ready, come into your final resting pose, whether it's Supta Baddha and your flying butterfly, or just Savasana. Savasana is also a really good place to put in some props. So if you have some pillows or blocks, I love doing Supta Baddha. The block under my back just opens me up a lot more. Wherever you're at, just let your body slowly start to relax. And be honest with where you're at and how your practice went today. Were you honest with yourself? Were you able to tell when something was wrong? Were you able to tell when something felt good or bad? Just work on noticing throughout the day today. Are you being truthful with yourself? Every time something comes up, just say, am I being truthful with myself? Am I being truthful about the situation? Am I being truthful here? And just think about what happens and see what comes up for you. If anybody has any questions, you can always reach out to me. I'm at SamCam Yoga. I'd be happy to help talk about yams, niyamas, yoga, whatever. Or if you want to schedule your one-on-one, just give me a message. Hope you guys have a great weekend and thanks for coming.